How's it going? How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, and today I have a Labrynth deck profile for you guys. There was a Labrynth profile that I had put up on a friend's channel, DPYGO, if you guys want to go check him out. He's pretty cool. Love him to death. But I wanted to make an updated list for what I've been testing recently and what I've been having success with recently, because this list is geared more towards dealing with Snake Eye and consistently getting to Arius or Backjack combo. So for the monster lineup, I'm running 2 Lady Labrynth. I don't like running 1. I think that running 1 is going to really start to hurt you in game states where you're needing to grind and you need the second one to continue popping off by setting traps off of activating traps. And she is your boss monster, so running 1 just for that one to potentially get banished from the graveyard or removed from the field, and then let's say you just have a welcome or something so you can't tutor out another one. I think that running 2 is just optimal. 1 Lovely. This is pretty self-explanatory. As well as 3 Arius. This is going to be that build of Labrynth where you're running a lot of normal traps to proc off of Arius. 1 Ariana. There is a reason I'm only running 1, which I'll showcase further in the deck profile. But with so many normal summons in the deck, potential normal summons, she's not great to see, and also I needed space for other stuff to fit in. So she was just the first thing that came to mind to come out. For the furnitures, I'm playing 3 Chandragolier, 3 Torby, as well as 2 Kukluk. I tried 3, I don't like 3. I think that 2's great. If you see it with the furniture, it's amazing. If you don't, it's really bad. And then I'm running 1 Attacker, as well as 2 Impulse, because I do not have a 3rd Impulse. I am going to attempt to come into 1 soon. And if I do, I think I'm going to run the deck at 41 cards, or maybe test out the 1 Lady and the 3 Impulse instead. It's a work in progress. And 3 Backjack to round out the monsters. How this deck plays, because I'm not running hand traps or board breakers, is you use the furnitures and Arius in combination with the plethora of normal traps you're running to hit your opponent while they're trying to play their turn. And it's all usually a combination of multiple cards, so like a furniture and backjack potentially can get you to a Dharma Cannon or a punishment or a different dimension ground. Arius with a trap trick in hand can fetch you pretty much any trap in your deck to stop them. So if it's Snake Eyes, you go Arius, set trap trick into a DDG, and then you can DDG to essentially skip their turn. They're probably going to end on an SP, which for Labrynth is really easy to get over. For spells, I'm only running 2. I'm running Labrynth, and Labrynth Setup. This list is very reminiscent of one of the lists that recently topped at a regional maybe a week ago. I want to say it was maybe a week ago. And the reason for that is because I was experimenting with it, but I didn't like some of the ratios in it, so I just have been changing it to fit my tastes personally. For the traps, I'm running 3 Big Welcome Labrynth, as well as 2 Welcome Labrynth, 3 Rollback, along with 3 Different Dimension Ground, 3 Trap Trick, 2 Karma Cannon, and 1 Dogmatic Punishment. In testing, I am still bouncing back and forth between Punishment and Ghastly Glitch, because Ghastly Glitch's ability to dump a Backjack from deck, or dump a Furniture from deck, is extremely powerful, and in a lot of the test hands that I was running, it really did add a lot to the end board, whereas Punishment is kind of just a 1 for 2, but Backjack discarding or sending Backjack off of Ghastly Glitch can potentially be a 1 for like 3 or 4. because Backjack can potentially get you a Dorama Cannon or a DDG or a Welcome, just anything you need. So I'm going to be testing that a little bit more. And I think the only other thing I'm a little skeptical about is the Impulse package, because while it's really good and it does help you get to the rollback line as well as the Arius line or the Backjack line a lot easier, it's more reliant on your opponent, and they can play around it by not committing monster to the board and do their important searches first before they start to commit resources. So for example, in Snake Eye, if they know that you have Impulse, they can make the attempt to play around it. They can summon Arvada, then do the Snake Eye line to get around it. There's just a few lines of play that can get around it, and also they could always Ash the Impulse or Ash or Imperm the attacker, which is fine, but in certain hands it is kind of rough. I was thinking about Phantasme instead in main, but Phantasme I think fulfills a different role. It digs into your deck and allows you to fix your hand, but it doesn't discard anything, which was the pro of the Impulse package that I wanted to try out, was discarding a Backjack off of attacker and then potentially grabbing a trap off the top of my deck. That's it for the main deck. For the extra deck, I'm running some interesting cards, and it's also a work in progress. So I'm running one Typhon. This is standard. One Dragalubion, one Harbinger, and one Numeron Dragon. This is my budget package for a Chaos Angel, because I don't have Chaos Angels. So typically what I do is I'll summon Lady, and I'll have Lovely, and I'll make the Dragalubion to go into Numeron and hit them for 9k. And thankfully they can't Imperm or Valor the Dragalubion because it can't be targeted by card effects, which is really nice. And then I'm running one Bucephalus. This might be a card that I am willing to move out of extra, because with the one of punishment it doesn't really come up a whole lot. And I have other targets that are just as big. The dumping Garura off of it is really nice, but it's kind of just, if it feels like whatever. I'd rather it be a different spot, or I'd rather something else replace it. And then I'm also running the Unchained package, so one Anguish, one Rage, and one Yama. I don't run the Unchained package in main, as you saw earlier, and the reason for that is because I think it's bad. It conflicts too much with cards like Extravagance, it conflicts too much with the rollback lines, and overall, running 2 bricks in your deck when a lot of cards in your deck are inherently situational bricks already, opening Kuklok without a furniture, for example, or opening Arius without a Welcome, or without like a good generic trap, it feels horrible, and I don't think it's worth it. One Unicorn, one IP Masquerena, one Muckraker, and one Linkuriboh. This Linkuriboh should actually be an Anima, but I don't have an Anima, so for now I'm just using Linkuriboh, or Linkuriboh, excuse me. And then my punishment targets are Garura, Intis, and Malong. Now that I've shown you guys the extra deck and the main deck, I'll get into the side deck. This is also a work in progress. So I'm running 3 Nibiru. This might stay in here, I'm not quite sure yet. It performed really well at Locals yesterday, and I got first place at Locals yesterday. But I'm not sure whether I want to keep this in here or do Droll instead, or maybe something else. 3 Judgment. Judgment's kind of self-explanatory. 3 Evenly. Evenly is really nice. I think that I'm going to replace this with Phantasme inside though, because while you can potentially evenly, and if you open a furniture, rollback, and evenly matched, you can evenly your opponent twice, which is really nice. But the issue is that's a 3-card combo, and also evenly really only hits the rogue strategies right now. Doesn't really do a whole lot against Snake Eye, unless you have a combination of things, like if you have evenly and DD Crow or Bell. It's good, but since I'm not running Ghost Bell or DD Crow, then it's kind of rough. 3D Barrier, this is just for rogue matchups, stuff along those lines, as well as Voiceless Voice. And then 1 Eradicator, 1 Magic Deflector, and 1 The Black Goat Laughs. Now, the things that are definitely going to be changing in this side deck, I think, are the Black Goat Laughs, the Eradicator, possibly the Evenlies, and possibly the Nibirus. And what I'm thinking is maybe replacing Evenly with Phantasme, Nibiru with the Bestial package, and then these 2 cards, the Black Goat and the Eradicator, with either 2 other traps that are good right now, or I might just do Summon Limit. And to be honest, maybe Magic Deflector, maybe take that out as well for a 3rd Summon Limit, but I'm not quite sure yet. And if I do the Bestials inside, then I'm probably going to take Bucephalus out of Extra, or take Gaslight Glitch out, and then just run more generically good extra deck stuff, including Beatrice, because Beatrice in this specific list is really good. If you have a combination of, say, Arius, a Bestial, or you get Attacker on field, you can make Beatrice, and then on your turn you can dump a Rollback, and then on your opponent's turn you can dump a Backjack, which is incredible. I'm going to just show some general lines with the deck real quick. So let's do the easy thing first, which is just Arius and like any generic trap. So this example I'm going to use Trap Trick. So Arius with Trap Trick is a very good combination because it can potentially grab any trap in your deck besides the one of Punishment that I'm running. Before I was running 2 Punishment, and I didn't have the Impulses or the Attacker in, and instead I had 2 Ariana, so I was running 2 Ariana, 1 Ariane, and I was running 2 Punishment. And those were my ratios before, but in testing with the Impulse package it's very nice. It especially helps going second a little more to getting towards your Arius trap combo, or your Kuklok furniture combo, or your furniture backjack combo. It helps a lot with those things. So pretty much in your opponent's main phase 1, you just dump the Arius to grave to set the Trap Trick, and then if you're playing against Snake Eye, you can Trap Trick for DDG by banishing a DDG from deck. And here, if you have, for example, a lady in your hand, this is going to get you a lot of gas, because you can chain the lady to the Arius to summon, and then now you're going to be able to DDG, and if they don't have any response to the DDG, you can chain lady to set from deck a like a welcome or something, whatever you feel like you need. Extremely powerful. One of the crazier hands I've seen is opening something similar to this, which is Kuklok, Shandrag, Impulse, Backjack, and you can be missing some of these things. You can be missing some of these and end up drawing into them off of the attacker. But just for simplicity's sake, I'm just gonna be using it like this. So now this is 4-card combo, so obviously, you know, take it with a grain of salt. But you're going to use Kuklok, and then you're going to use Shandrag, dumping the Backjack to grave to set a big welcome. Kuklok is going to summon itself as Chainlink 1, and then Backjack is going to reveal 3 as Chainlink 2, and that's going to get around Ghost Spell. So here you shuffle, and then reveal 3. Or no, you don't reveal 3, you look at the top 3, excuse me. You do not show your opponent the 3 you look at. So we get a Backjack, an Ariana, and a Karma Cannon. So I'm going to put the Karma Cannon on top, and then Backjack will banish from grave on a separate chain, revealing the Dharma to place to field. From here you can big welcome, summon out Lovely, or you can summon out Lady if you want to try to get to another trap or something. You'll bounce the Kuklok, Lovely here will trigger, and then you'll go Chainlink 1, Chandrak, Chainlink 2, Lovely. Now if they activate a monster effect on the field, you go Impulse effect, and let's say it's like Diabell Star, like Witch or something to add. You go Impulse, or no, it sets, excuse me. You go Impulse, Summon, Attacker. And so now when they add, you go Attacker effect to draw 2, and then discard 1. So I drew into Big Welcome and Setup, which is pretty nice. In this instance, to be honest, I think I discard Kuklok, because I don't really have the use for it at the moment, and I can just add it back again next turn by using Chandragolier. I kind of want to keep the Big Welcome and the Setup. Drawing in the Setup is crazy here though. And so now your interaction here is you have Dharma Cannon on the back row still, so you can Dharma Cannon to book everything. And then you'll draw for turn. So I drew an Arius, which is really nice because that means that you now don't even need the Kuklok, you can just Arius set Big Welcome. First thing you should do though is obviously flip your stuff, and then from here you can probably do the Dragalubian line. Yeah, you can probably do the Dragalubian line here, which is really nice. But drawing multiples of various things is amazing. If there was also a rollback in that hand, that would have been genuinely crazy. So I'm just gonna do like 1 or 3 test hands here. 2, 3, 4, 5. So this already is gonna skip Snake Eyes' turn, because you go Arius effect, set the Trap Trick, and then you can Trap Trick for DDG, which is gonna skip their turn. And you can Torby with Chandrag to set Big Welcome as well, so now you have Welcome, Big Welcome on your turn, and then your draw is probably going to be Labrynth, which is good. You can activate Labrynth. They have the SP made. If they make the SP through DDG, you can just activate Labrynth, and then go Welcome, Summon, and then on res, destroy the SP. Really good. Hand number 2. Oh, that's crazy too. So Arius and Trap Trick again. But you also have Chandrag, Big Welcome, and Impulse. This hand is actually insane. Holy crap. So this is going to skip Snake Eyes' turn as well. Even more so because with Impulse, now you're able to put an attacker on the board. So if they make SP, you can just go standby main battle, kill the SP, and then start doing all your stuff after the fact. Now, for any of you that saw the profile on the JDYGO channel, maybe a few weeks ago or something, I was running the Barrier Statue of the Dark in main, or the Abyss, excuse me, and it was very good, but I realized that it was kind of a win more. Yes, your opponent does have to exhaust an Ash or an Imperma or a Veiler or something on the Ariane, and that could potentially be good for if you open your welcomes already. But putting the Barrier Statue up just didn't feel as great when I could just instead do the DDG line and also have backcheck. It just didn't feel amazing. It is still very good though, but so if you wanted to find a room to fit a Barrier Statue of the Abyss in main, you could cut Ariana completely and run one Ariane with 2 statues, or you could run one Ariana, one Ariane, one statue, because getting to the statue line is incredibly easy. You just need any welcome that's alive, so like a Kuklok and the furniture does that. An Arius and a welcome does it. There's a lot of lines that get to it. The only downside to it is if you play a matchup where all they summon is darks, it's really bad. Or if they just don't care about special summoning, like Flu, it's really bad. Now, this hand is not incredible, to be honest. This hand is kind of doo-doo butter, if I'm being completely honest. So, if you're going first, I mean, DDG is going to do some heavy lifting against Snake Eye. But that's about it. Punishment's going to do heavy lifting for anything rogue, or I guess tier 1 right now, because tier 1 right now is pretty much just any deck that can run Shifter or turn off the graveyard or run a butt ton of hand traps. So yeah, that's like the first hand we've opened. That's not great. I'll do 2 more just to give a general idea here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's pretty good. I mean, opening double big welcome always feels bad, but the bright side is that, hey, you have potentially full combo for everything here. You can DDG on your opponent's turn, presuming that they don't have Ash or a response to your trap. And if you think they probably do have a response to your trap, you can always just discard the big welcome off Torby to set welcome from deck, and you can chain Lady to summon, and now you have a big welcome engrave to interrupt their play. So if they summon Flamberge, you can go effect bounce the Flamberge to hand. So not terrible, not terrible. Hey, so my camera just stopped recording that last combo at the end of the video, which was kind of cringe, not gonna lie, but I hope you guys enjoyed it, and make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Make sure to comment if you have any questions, or if you want to see me do another combo video, showcase the profile a little better. And I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching.